Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to a special feature here on Not Your Professional Walkthroughs channel. This time we are taking a look at World of Warships and the totally missed and wasted opportunity which they did with the current Submarine event going on. Now look, first of all, I'm usually not the one to try and focus on the negatives. If there is an event like currently still ongoing, the World of Warships summer sale, which is a BS where you will not get the value for your money, I'm gonna inform you about it and try to make sure that you get the better experience out of the game or spend your money more wisely. However, when we have events such as Big Hunt or the last event where we had SetSuma and Hannover, now we have the Submarines. And the Submarines were able to be played in either co-op versus the AI or in the ranked matches. Here is the problem and why this is a wasted opportunity or an event. Reason number one, currently there are no ranked battles, so the only way you can play the Submarines is if you go against the AI, and the experience is horrible at best, because the AI will not put you through what other players might try to do. They might try to strategize, they might try to hide behind the islands, they might try to get a jump on you. With the co-op, usually you will see the enemy forces pushing in a straight line towards either capture points or your positions, and it just ends up in a total fiasco. I have had matches where I wasn't even able to fire a single torpedo because I have decided to go towards a point and there was not an enemy in sight, and especially if even on your team there are bots, they just crashed into one another or they launched salvos of torpedoes from too much of a close range, so by the time your torpedoes reached any target, everything was dead. Second reason why this opportunity is wasted is that currently we have the Dockyard event. Now sure, it has just started only recently, and if you are like me and you aren't willing to pay to wargaming over 100 euros or dollars or whatever currency you use in your country, you will grind through the combat missions, and these take quite a long time. Trying to get citadel hits, trying to get kills, trying to do 700,000 damage with only your main armaments, and all these things can take quite a while, and you have quite a lot of these combat missions to go through, and especially considering the fact that once you finish a section, there can be 4 days or 7 days in between these things when you are trying to focus your attention on something else. But the Submarines do not get your attention, as if you're trying to get your 3 daily shipping containers or anything else, trying to do this in the co-op versus the AI is a horrible way to do so. But okay, let's say you really want to play these Submarines. What do you need to do? Well, in order for you to participate in the event, you need to sign into the game for 5 days, and on each day you are gonna get a different reward. Most likely what's gonna happen is that you will start receiving them in a mixed order, and eventually you're gonna have all 3 of these Submarines from tier 6 to tier 8 to tier 10. Issue here is by the time you obtain, for example, tier 8, you might have only certain amount of time left on the rental for your tier 6 subs. And it's a shame, because I can tell you right now, I have had the most fun with the tier 8 Submarines, and I am now no longer able to play with them, nor do I want to versus the AI, because the bots will not provide you with the challenge you are seeking. But just to prove the point, I'm gonna take this tier 10 Submarine and I'm gonna show you how you will suffer versus the AI, and how not being able to play in longer matches will not allow you to learn what the potential equipment of the ship can do, what the potential captain skills will do. Because if you are able to kill an enemy ship, and if you are able to maybe contest a flag, you might only get your captain up to a certain point. And I don't think you want to be using your elite commander points in order to level up your submarine commander to go versus AI. So there are these things to consider. So let's therefore see how the submarines would perform. If you go with the American Tier 10 submarine, you get 6 torpedo tubes at the front, and you get 2 torpedo tubes at the back. Based on my overall experience, however, players tend to prefer the German submarines, and if you decide to go with the Tier 10 German submarine, you get only 6 torpedo tubes at the front. So if something gets behind you, you cannot use the rear sonar to try and cover your 6. This is why I'm gonna go with the Tier 10 American submarine, and we're gonna see how the match is gonna turn out. So right now we at least know that our entire team seems to be composed of actual players. If you see the names with 2 dots starting at the front, at the back, you might know that this is an actual bot, but you will see that even the performance of some of the players might be really weird in these battles. So how do these submarines operate, and why is it bad to not go against players? It took me forever to just realize what, for example, the T button does or what the Y button does. And I'm still not even sure what the Y button does, and the matches usually don't last even that long for me to find out. You control your depth by pressing F or by pressing C. Of course, the controls can be adjusted, but usually what you will try to do is be at the periscope depth. This way you are able to keep on watching or monitoring what's happening above the surface, and it's usually much more difficult for the enemy ship to hit you and deal damage to you. But if you want to move super fast, and if you want to recharge your batteries, which are important for you to remain submerged in order for you to utilize your sonar, which is this thing, which allows you to ping or target or mark the enemy ship, you will have to resurface eventually. And if you do not time this correctly, it's really hard to pull off. So you can see that the enemy Stalingrad is away or too far from me to reach it. Our current range is at around 14 kilometers. So it's pointless for me to do anything at this point. Also, I have to let you know that trying to hit the enemy ships from the front, really bad. What might even happen is that the ships are able to slide right between the torpedoes, making for a fun sequence, which if edited properly and with some fun music can be an actually entertaining video for YouTube. So here I'm gonna launch the torpedoes, and they're gonna go after the enemy Stalingrad. I'm gonna stop over here before we reach the sea point. I know that I would be able to move in, but keep in mind that if you want to actually contest the point, you need to be above the waterline, and if you are submerged, you will not be able to hold a point or start contesting it. So we see that the torpedoes are actually able to hit the target. We were able to achieve 5 hits. I'm gonna start backing up. And also, if you will have the chance to be playing the submarines, do not do this. Do not ping the enemy ship in front of you. And once you launch the torpedoes, you then decide to go after, let's say, the enemy destroyer. What's gonna happen to the torpedoes is that they are gonna get confused and they might try to switch the target. So it's kind of annoying that way. So try to keep your attention to one target. So that's one dead enemy ship, and that's almost half of the enemy team already gone. We see that there is an enemy Alabama, so we're gonna try to focus our attention on that ship. especially because it's showing broadside. If you hit the enemy ships from broadside, you might actually achieve even citadel hits, and that way you are of course dealing more damage. But I have had some really mixed experience with the citadel hits, so I cannot really guarantee you a 100% bulletproof way to achieve citadel hit. It's not like you can actually launch the torpedo right at the waterline. It's just gonna hit the target where it's gonna hit the target. It will depend from where you manage to mark it. So here we're gonna wait for the enemy Alabama. We see that 2 of the enemy submarines are around the B point. And of course, right now with even the changes made to the captain's skill tree, you are able to have some different skills which might allow you to try and defend yourself against the submarines. And look, I'm totally aware of the situation. Right now, the players cannot even decide if they want to have carriers included, especially considering the last patch of upgrade, which totally screwed up the rocket squadrons for the game. I'm not really keen on playing right now the carriers, and this is what's gonna happen. So the enemies get super close, they blow up the enemy, and then you have nothing to shoot. If you get a kill or if you get a bunch of torpedo hits, you're gonna be happy as you are. But you can see these are gonna be the rewards you are looking at. So honestly, you will have to play a lot of matches one after another in quick succession, and quite a lot of times you're not gonna see the challenge which you are looking for. If you submerge yourself and you try to go against the enemy submarines, good for you, but chances are the enemy submarines might go for the other points, so really no guarantee that you're gonna get the results which you are looking for. So could this have been done better? I think it could have been done better, if not against indie ranked matches which are currently not available. You should be able to have some sort of temporary status or brawl situation where you are able to take out the submarines versus the enemy players, such as when we had the opportunity to go with Hannover or with SetSuma, where you had to collect certain reward points in order to actually take out the submarine and go battle against the enemy players, so that the matches are not just submarines versus submarines, although that can be a fun game mode too. Wargaming should definitely look into that. Is this something which you are gonna enjoy? If you like submarines, probably yes. If you like going against the enemy AI, probably, but most likely no. So, could this have been done better? I think so. Will Wargaming return back the submarines? I hope so. It's a fun thing, and actually last year we were able to go against enemy players, and it was a whole lot more challenging, and it was a whole lot more fun. I actually do even have some episodes up on the channel for that, but unfortunately at that time I was only working with a laptop, so the quality of the footage is quite bad. So don't expect no 1440p from me at that point. But if you did like the video, or you would like to let me know what's your opinion about how Wargaming handled the current submarine situation, let me know via the comment section. If you disagree with me, well then let me know, and let me know what they could have done to potentially improve this, or if you would actually not like to see carriers or submarines at all, and what should Wargaming try to focus upon, if it should be more premium ships or if it should be more tech trees. The Dutch tree is now being expanded, and I think already we have more premium ships than we have ships in the tech tree, and including the new ship in the Dockyard which you can get, which of course I have already seen. But considering the fact that there are 24 stages at 1,500 doubloons per stage, you really need to consider if it's worth that much money for you. So that's gonna be it for this one. I'm gonna wish you a pleasant rest of the day. Hopefully you are enjoying your wargaming experience or any other experience with your gaming. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more fun content like this. And I will see you in the comments or in the future. Thank you for watching, everyone. Stay safe out there, and bye-bye for now.